So I'm sure that you guys have heard, there's a lot of talk in the community right now about this particular thing, so let's talk about it. So for a long time now, people have been anticipating a collaboration between Hololive EN and Nijisanji EN, especially because a lot of these members inside of these companies interact with each other on Twitter quite a good amount. Now, more specifically in this example, we're going to be talking about Pomu, Rainpuff, and Takanashi Kiara. And these two are pretty much the reason why this is being talked about so much, especially as of recently because Kiara addressed on stream the likelihood of this happening is just going down less and less, despite them actually being close friends behind the scenes, which Kiara said herself, which just makes this situation even more sad to think about. And just for some context, I'm actually going to play you guys that clip of Kiara right now, just so we're all on the same page.
Stuff feels like it's never gonna happen. It's sad, but it's okay. We're friends behind the scenes, and I wished her a very happy birthday. Yeah.
So obviously that got a lot of people talking, and honestly understandably why, because this is pretty sad news. I mean, to anybody who's a fan of Hololive EN and Niji EN, I mean, this is just really sad news to hear that they will probably never collab, at least in the context of Kiara and Pomu. Now when it comes to this, there's kind of two sides of the conversation. There's either people on Twitter that are just very sad to hear this information, and then there's the other side of Twitter that is either just completely blaming Hololive or just completely blaming Nijisanji. But my opinion is, we shouldn't point the finger at Hololive or Nijisanji specifically. So a big part of the argument is that people believe that Hololive and Nijisanji actually have beef with each other. And people that honestly believe this are either A, haven't been in the community for very long, or B, are just trying to start drama. It has been proven time and time again that the companies themselves do not have any sort of beef with each other. And what I'm talking about is the companies themselves. I obviously know that there has been altercations between Hololive members and Nijisanji members, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the companies themselves. I'm talking about the people that work behind the scenes. I'm talking about the people that operate both Hololive and Nijisanji. So Cover Corporation in any color to be more specific. On the Hololive and Nijisanji official Reddit, not only do they allow posts featuring members from the opposite company, but they actually support those posts. And my strongest point to support the fact that they actually do not have beef with each other is that the Indonesian and Japanese branches of both companies have broken the ice and collaborated multiple times. So there's obviously something else going on here. It is obviously something to do with EN, but not even just the branches specifically. It has nothing to do with the actual branch itself, but it has everything to do with the people that support that branch. I'm sure you can see what I'm getting at here. The most logical reason for why they can't collaborate is because of toxic fans. And it honestly seems like the extreme growth that Nijisanji EN has had recently doesn't really help the situation either. So I'm sure that a lot of you guys are familiar with the toxic fans because they're all over the place, to be honest with you, but a lot of people might be wondering, what do I even mean by toxic fans and how are they exactly toxic? Well, to be honest with you, there's a lot of them, so they're toxic in a lot of different ways, but the most problematic reason of why they're toxic is because a lot of these people like to pick sides and say if you like this company, you can't like the other one. They think it's like a team kind of thing for some reason. We've seen this super recently actually with a drama that happened, but I'm not going to get too much into that drama because I just don't like to talk about it on the channel anymore because it's just toxic and negative. A Nijisanji member recently tweeted something that was a mistake, and it resulted with a lot of people quote retweeting the tweet saying that Hololive was better and this is why. And because people act like this, it creates tension, not only upon the companies, but more importantly actually the fans. Because it creates this thing where a lot of people think they need to pick a side when in reality it's not like that at all. But people still do it. So there's a lot of Hololive fans that hate Nijisanji, and there's a lot of Nijisanji fans that hate Hololive, which causes this huge problem because if they collaborate, there's going to be a lot of backlash. So even though there's members of Hololive and Nijisanji that aren't even just friends, but could even be very close friends, it doesn't really look like we're going to be getting a collab anytime soon, unfortunately. So that leaves the question, for us fans that are actually not toxic and just genuinely want to support both agencies, what does that mean for us? Well, we first off have to figure out how we can distinguish this bogus idea that some people have where you have to pick some sort of a side. Because not only is it okay to just like both of them, but it's honestly a good thing if you like both of these companies. So if you see anybody spreading this stupid idea that you need to pick a side or that these companies hate each other or blah blah blah, respectfully correct them and tell them that the information that they're spreading actually has a negative impact not only on the companies that they're talking about, but the fans as well. And eventually, if the toxicity actually stops or at least slows down to a good degree, maybe we actually will see the collabs that we really want to see one day. So guys, thank you so much for listening to my rant about this. I hope that it was actually beneficial and actually gave you guys some good insight, not only about the situation, but how we can fix it as well. And if there's anything that you think that I missed, please let me know down in the comment section below. Not only do I appreciate your opinions, but I also appreciate your criticisms as well. But if you like VTubers, consider hitting that subscribe button because this is what I do here. I talk about VTubers, so if you'd like that type of content, consider hitting that subscribe button because there's a lot more on the way. But with all this being said, I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.